Let's bring you some developing news from South Korea now. Investigators have reportedly begun attempting to arrest the impeached president, Yoon Suk Yeol. Now, you've got some live pictures to bring you now. Approximately 3,000 police officers from 47 squads have been deployed in front of the presidential residence. Yoon was suspended from his presidential powers last month after his short-lived declaration of martial law. Now, we've got Rob McBride, who's joining us on the phone now, live from Seoul with the latest. Rob, can you tell us what's going on right now?
Yeah, this Friday morning, this long-anticipated arrest warrant does now seem to be being executed by officers from the Corruption Investigation Office. This is one of the main agencies that is investigating Yoon Suk Yeol for this short-lived imposition of martial law for alleged possible offences of insurrection, abuse of power. This arrest warrant was issued on New Year's Eve, and this was after 3 failed attempts to get Yoon to appear to answer summonses for questioning from this squad of officers. They went to and took the unprecedented step of getting an arrest warrant, the first against a sitting South Korean president. He is suspended from office, he's impeached, but he is still technically the sitting president, and that is part of the problem, of course, because he still has presidential security service officers protecting him at his residence. So we've seen a standoff between officers from this Corruption Investigation Office and his own security detail. There was, for a time, a vehicle seen to be parked in front of the gates. It does seem as though those negotiations have now concluded and that the arrest is moving on. We understand that officers and prosecutors are now inside when they will have to present the arrest warrant, read Yoon his rights, and then take him away for detention. But outside, we know there have been ongoing protests in anticipation of this taking place. Several hundred protesters have been outside despite the sub-zero temperatures overnight, but it does appear as though they are outnumbered by the thousands of police who turned out, who seem determined that this arrest warrant will be issued and Yoon will be in detention a little later on this morning.
And how unprecedented is this to have the first sort of sitting president to be detained as part of this kind of an investigation?
Yeah, I mean, we've had a month of unprecedented political fighting. The whole system here has been roiled. We had the impeachment of Yoon. Then his replacement was also impeached 2 weeks later. So we've had 2 sitting presidents impeached. There is this almost a vacuum of power at the very top of government as we see this fighting between the ruling party and the very strong opposition parties who brought about these impeachments. And that's why Yoon went and took the steps that he did in imposing martial law, because he was of the belief that he just wasn't allowed to rule, that basically as his ruling party has said that South Korea was becoming ungovernable and he had to take those actions. But since then, that has been branded as being completely undemocratic. The opposition have accused him of insurrection. His impeachment is going through the Constitutional Court while he faces this action, which is on the criminal side of the repercussions of the aftermath of all of these impeachments.
All right, Rob McBride, thank you so much for all of that reporting, joining us there live from Seoul.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.